Welcome back to another episode of Pan's Picks. This is a show where I go through an NFL team season and pick the probability in which I think they're going to win each game from week 1 all the way to week 18. And then I compare the win total against Vegas odds and also against Pioneer Airways pilot Bill, who is with me as always. Where are you flying tonight, Bill?
Oh, we're doing a red eye back to Chicago.
Back to Chicago. That's where you took off from, right? You actually have to head back to that airport.
Yeah.
Yep. Problems with the engine. I see. Well, hopefully you make it back, and I'm glad that there's some moments here for you to help me do this show. Who are we doing today?
Today we have the Minnesota Vikings, 8-9 last season, second in the NFC North. Mike Zimmer is out after 8 inconsistent seasons with the Vikings as the head coach. He's replaced by last season's Super Bowl winning offensive coordinator, Kevin O'Connell. With the new head coach, there's also expected coaching changes. Will Minnesota hit the ground running? And can they upset the division favorite Green Bay Packers?
You're throwing all the questions out that I'd love to get answers to. And I'm going to try to answer them. Here we go. New coach. Let's look at the schedule. New coach, new team, refresh them. 30th ranked defense, but offensive coach. We'll see how that works out. 30th ranked defense is not good. They gave up, 6,500 yards or more? Well, we'll see what they can do. We'll start with week 1. Hosting Green Bay. I'll start them off with a 25%. I think they're still going to be working it together. I don't know if I believe that they'll outpace the Green Bay Packers. Week 2 at Philadelphia. Let's go with a 50%. I think Philly's going to take this one, but I'll give them a chance. I think they can beat Philadelphia. Bill, do you see them beating Philadelphia, or do you not see them beating Philly?
I think that's going to be a close one. I would typically take Philadelphia at home in this matchup. I also had 50-50, but I think that I'm going to go with the Vikings on that one.
Okay. I didn't know you were such a Kirk Cousins fan. I'm just going to imply a lot of Kirk Cousins love. I know you're a big fan of him on Washington. Week 3, hosting Detroit. Let's go with a 75%. Sounds good to me. Week 4 at New Orleans. This is a fun game. I feel like these teams feel similar to me for reasons that I can't really explain. They just kind of give off a similar vibe. Indoor stadiums, maybe. In the Minneapolis Miracle, maybe. Maybe that's why. Let's go with a 50%, but I think Minnesota's going to win. 50%, but I would take Minnesota in this one. Bill, where do you see New Orleans, Minnesota at New Orleans?
Yeah, I would also go with, I had 50-50, I would go with Minnesota on the road.
Very good. If it's at home, I think I'd go with 75% on that one. Week 5, hosting Chicago. I think they're gonna feel strong against the division rival. 100%, give it to them. They're gonna feel good in this one. Week 6 at Miami. 50% is fine. I'll take Miami though. Bill, do you take Miami or do you take Minnesota?
I take the proven quarterback. Tua hasn't done it for me yet. Going into a bye week, they're going to put it all on the field.
All right. Kirk Cousins, he's been known to put it all on the fild. All right.
I like that.
Week 7 bye. Week 8, Arizona. Arizona's going to come into town. They're going to make it hard on Minnesota. This could be a very high-scoring game. Be very exciting to watch. I think Arizona's going to take it, but I'll give it a 50-50. Week 9 at Washington. Maybe we'll just stick with the 50-50 on this one, actually. I think Washington can give them a hard time. I'll take Minnesota to win, but we'll stick with a 50-50, giving Washington some sort of chance to actually win this one. Bill, do you see Washington having any chance at winning this game?
I had that one as a 75. I think that Washington has a great defensive line. but I think that there's just too many challenges over the top for them to defend.
Okay. Week 10 at Buffalo. Let's go with a 25% against the Bills. I think they will probably lose, but, it's not completely out of the question. Week 11, hosting Dallas is a hot pick. I think it's a hot pick, too. What makes it a hot pick to you?
Week 11, hosting Dallas. Minnesota is -1 right now. Kirk is 2-8 versus the Cowboys, but those games had a lot of them with Washington. Didn't have that great of a team, but his overall QBR was 101.6. So he played pretty well against that team, even though there wasn't a lot of talent around him. At home, Minnesota and Justin Jefferson, I think they can blow the top off this one. Minnesota wins, I think, by a touchdown.
Ooh, by a touchdown. Wow.
Yeah.
What did you give this?
This one was a 50-50.
Okay. I'm also I don't know about a touchdown, but I'll go with 50-50, and I will take Minnesota to win. Week 12, New England. Man, just 50-50s. 50s all around for these Minnesota Vikings. But I'll take Minnesota in this one as well. Week 13, hosting the Jets. Let's go with a 75 on that one. I don't think the Jets have it, but I also don't think that they're too rough shape. At Detroit, we'll leave that at a 75 as well. 75%. Week 15, hosting Indianapolis. And that is a hot pick. What's your hot pick view on this one, Bill?
Yeah, let's see here. Minnesota is -1, hosting Indianapolis. Two quarterbacks potentially towards the end of their careers. Kurt has a little bit more left in him, but the new coaching staff might think otherwise. The Vikings are a fringe playoff team, and Kirk needs to prove that he's the guy. They offered him only a 1-year extension to his contract. I think this is the game that he needs to do it. He has another tough matchup against Green Bay later within 2 weeks of this. That's not the one to prove your worth. He's going to do it. He's going to do it at home. It's going to be versus Indy. And he wins and covers, obviously, the 1 point.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll go 50, but I'm going to go on the other side. I'm going to go with Indy. I think Indianapolis is going to take this one. I think they're a better team, better defense, and I think I like Matt Ryan better than Kirk Cousins in this. So I'm going to go 50% with Indianapolis. And here we go, Week 16, hosting the Giants. Let's go 75% on that. I think they're better than the Giants. I don't think the Giants are very good, and they're going to have to go in and beat a superior Vikings team at home. Week 17 at Green Bay. 25%. We'll stick with the 25%. This is a tough game. Green Bay's still going to be playing. They're still going to be trying. And then Week 18 at Chicago. Let's go with 75% to finish the season out. Now let's do the math. Let's pull it up. Where do the numbers land? Bill's total, my total, adding it up versus Vegas. Woo! Nailed it! You're right, Las Vegas. I agree with you. I think the Vikings are going to win 9.5 games. And I would not bet this at all. I think Vegas nailed it. And Bill, you're pretty close to Vegas nailing it as well with your 10. Where's your 0.5 are you finding?
Let's see here. I think that I have them. It's been mixed up within there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I picked that really sticks
out? I have them
out?
splitting with Green Bay. I think that's where it comes from. So I think that they can take one from Green Bay.
So do
maybe
you
at the end of the season, but
okay. So do you have a 25 and a 50 for Green Bay?
Yeah.
Okay. I see. All right. That's cool. The Vikings, a team that has confused me why they're not better. And it's hard to figure it out. Kirk Cousins passes for 4,000. They had so many touchdown passes. They got a great running back. Unbelievable skill positions, right? They're fielding some of the best skill positions. You could argue they got the best duo at wide receiver with Thielen and Jefferson. Thielen is still there, yes?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I thought. For some reason, I thought I might have heard something that he was moved. I don't know why. But Thielen and Jefferson, 34 touchdown passes, 7 interceptions. Kirk Cousins not playing bad. The defense was terrible last year, and if they can just kind of line it up, there's no reason they couldn't win 10 or 11 games, especially with the schedule. With their division, they should easily go 4-2. They have better quarterbacks and better players than both Detroit and Chicago. And then they play the East, which gives them a Giants and a Washington win that they can take. They can get the Jets as well. It's tough to play Green Bay twice and Buffalo, and Indianapolis isn't a pushover. Miami and New England aren't pushovers either, or Arizona. But, maybe it's the new coach. Maybe they'll pull it together. But the new coach is was the offensive coordinator from the Rams. What was his name again?
Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell. You can question his ability, I guess, in the sense that you are looking at a team that's run by an offensive-minded young coach that is a play caller in, I don't know why I can't think of his name. That's insane. But if you can think of his name, the head coach of the Rams, I can't think of it right now. My brain is blocked. But you could argue that, it's his team. It's his offense. What does this guy have besides... What has he actually done? You kind of don't know. When it comes to a team like a team with a defensive-minded head coach, and then the offense is really good, then everyone showers praise on the offensive coordinator. But in this scenario, you're looking at an offensive-minded head coach that is leading a team. It's very innovative. And Bill, help me out. I still can't think of his name. Sean McVay. Oh my goodness. Sean McVay, who's great, innovative coach, won a Super Bowl, has led that team to unbelievable heights instantly since he's been there, and then you take the offensive coordinator from that team, and you think, he could just try to make the team like Sean McVay, and maybe that'll work out. Maybe they'll work with someone like Kirk Cousins, and obviously all the great players that they have on that team. But then, does it translate to defense? What type of defensive players that he's afforded? I don't know how much defense was added to the Vikings, but they absolutely need to step that up. They cannot go into a 30th and expect to win 10 games if you have the 30th ranked defense, unless you have, I don't know, the 2013 Broncos offense and you pass for 5,500 yards. You can't have a bottom of the barrel defense and be a top team in the league, and especially beat teams that are very, very good like Green Bay and Buffalo in the regular season. So it's an interesting situation. Can Kirk Cousins really pull it off? Can he finally just, I guess, take the next step? But a lot of it isn't really him. 4,200 yards, 34 touchdown passes, and 7 interceptions speaks otherwise. He's a good player. They're doing well. I've got Dalvin Cook. I believe he missed a lot of last season. Am I right on that, Bill, that he missed a lot of last season?
Yeah, but this is potentially a breakout, re-breakout year for him.
Yeah.
He can stay healthy.
So I give him 9.5. Bill gives him 10. Those are definitely playoff numbers. 9.5 is close enough to get to 10. And so I feel good about their team. I think they can make it. They got an easier schedule, 20th. So as a Vikings fan, you should be excited, at least for the prospect of a new coach pulling it together. But you really need to find some defense. You really need to find some freaking defense on this team. They've underperformed with the talent that they have on offense. And even 12th, in my opinion, is low for a team with these types of players. With Jefferson and Thielen, 2 players that are easily over 1,000-yard receivers. And then even more so with Dalvin Cook, who's, coming off the board really early in fantasy drafts. And a solid quarterback in Kirk Cousins, who just, I think he plays his role, but and you question whether he can take the next step to just be a total game breaker, which he hasn't done yet. It's kind of in that Derek Carr area for me. And so both those quarterbacks, they're given the opportunity, they've gotten the new coaches. Let's see if they can do it. Bill, any final thoughts about the Vikings? What do you see from them?
Yeah, I think that I think a couple things. Delvin Cook will have a breakout year again. Like 2 seasons ago, last season was a down year for him with injuries and being out. The wide receiver room is strong, lacking at tight end, but Kirk Cousins throughout his career hasn't always had the best weapons around him. This is definitely one of the most talented teams that he's been on. Obviously, the numbers speak for themselves. Last season, the defense 2 years ago or 3 years ago was strong. They've definitely tapered off the last 2 years. Hopefully they can turn that around. And I think with a little bit of a better defensive push, I think that they're going to be really close to Green Bay.
Yeah. I mean, they can be there, right? They can. They definitely have the players to be there. If Kirk Cousins pulls together, they have a good, they put together a really good, the coach, brings in some of that McVay magic. This team can win 11 games. So there's no denying that. You got Detroit, Chicago. It's 4 wins, easy. And if they play to their potential, you had them as a possible split with Green Bay, and they did beat Green Bay last year, so it is a possibility. There's no denying that. So so it's pretty. It can be exciting. They've been disappointing for the past 2 years. You can't disappoint all the time with so much talent. So something's got to give. They either just got to give up entirely or really break out. I think the breakout's got to happen this year. But I don't know. Maybe you're a Kirk Cousins hater and you don't think he's as good as even we've described him as. And maybe a new coach isn't going to be any good. Maybe you think it's all McVay and he doesn't deserve any credit for what the Rams have done. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think about about our picks here and the Minnesota Vikings season and the possibility of them making the playoffs, not making the playoffs. How many wins do you think they're going to get? You go through their schedule. You do a 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, 100% chance if you want to. And at the end of it, come up with your win total and put it in there. If you think they're going to win a lot of games, then maybe you put your money where your mouth is. Bet on the Vegas odds. If you think they're going to win 12, bet the over. If you think you think Kirk Cousins is going to fall off a cliff, this new coach is going to be a disaster, and the defense is going to be even worse, and they're going to win 6 or 5 games. They're even going to split with Detroit. Then, yeah, bet the under. Let us know what matchups you're excited about, maybe games that you're excited about. Things that you want to see from the Vikings this year that you feel like have been lacking. Any of your thoughts on the Minnesota Vikings or any NFL game, or maybe just your thoughts about, I don't know, what's the best type of alternative milk? I don't know. You decide. Comment whatever you want. And make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.